podcast?
Yeah, we got one more Titan show.
Yeah.
So, we're going to do what we do, catch a dub before we head out.
Okay.
So.
All right. Now, there's a guy that I just interviewed named Tyler Fox. He's going to be with you guys at the camp.
Okay.
So say hello to Tyler.
Okay. Yeah, we'll send our regards from Papa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
What up, Tyler? What up?
What up, man?
Let everyone know what you're selling, man, and where they can get it.
Yeah, so we got the Live Danger gear right here. Boom, boom, firepower on the back. Live Danger on the front. Obviously, we have the headbands. We have 8x10s. We're posting everywhere. We're around everywhere. Yeah.
You know where to go. You know you're going to want to wake up in the morning, look at your nightstand, and just see a nice, fresh picture of Live Danger.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys, for a moment of your time, and I'll see you around.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Baba.
All right, thank you.
On?
Yeah, this thing is on, Mr. Dr. Sleep.
No, you can't be interviewing me without giving me a written permission.
Without a written permission?
Yes.
Wait, whoa. How are you gonna do this Saturday at Titan Championship Wrestling, huh?
What's happening then?
What do you mean? You know what's happening.
Yeah. What's happening?
Are you gonna attack any more people?
Maybe.
I better get out of
I
here.
don't like podcasters.
I do have a championship, so.
Oh, do you? You won that?
Yeah.
What ring did you win it in?
Whoa, don't worry about me. Why don't you worry about what's going on at Titan?
Like gold. I like gold a lot. It's in my shoes, my belt. I win gold, so is there gold in that title?
I gotta go, guys. See you later. All right, I'm hanging out with Cora right now. What is your problem?
Get out of
You're
here!
interviewing this bitch, but I'm right here.
She was
You
first.
know what? I'm not even going to satisfy you with an interview.
Wow, how rude, huh?
He doesn't even need to be satisfied. Anyways, I'm Cora, and I am your winner of this intergender match, and I'm so excited!
The first ever in SWA history.
Herstory in the making.
That's right.
I just want to say that it was super rude of you to walk away from me earlier.
Talking to the New York State champion, you're going to have to pay up.
Do you take Kale?
Dude, goodbye. Whip wreck, case in, doesn't matter.
We'll see what happens, but it looks like we have a special guest.
Get my earplugs on.
No.
You was looking for Tina, and then you talk about Pete.
Dominate tonight, all right? The Dirty Deeds, they got nothing.
We're now the new Starlet champion. What's going on?
Hi, I am fearless princess, so why not team up?
All right, now just announced by Mr. Joel Maximo for February.
Finisher is called the Shadow Ban, and I was like, that's kind of.
Hold on. Let me speak. Okay?
But today I got a very special guest. I got the great. Welcome to Beyond the Barricade. I'm your host, Papa Denk, and today I have a very special guest. Let me bring to you the one, the only, Matt Awesome.
What's up, y'all? What's going on, people? Thank you for having me.
And you're awesome. Thank you for coming on. Let's talk about this Friday night. We are wrestling The Bridge is Over. I think that's a rap song, right?
Yes, KRS One.
It's KRS. I thought so. All right. Man, this looks like a stacked card right there. Woo!
I would say We Are Wrestling puts on some of the most complete cards you will ever see. And the fact that it's in my hometown, my backyard, the South, well, in the Bronx. I'm born and raised South Bronx. So I'm from the birthplace of hip hop 100%. So that's why The Bridge is Over. Very, very close song to my heart. But always We Are Wrestling brings it to the South, to the Bronx all the time. We have always a stacked card. Like, it doesn't matter from top to bottom. You have a little bit of everything. So like, be in store this coming Friday, which is my favorite day of the year, Friday the 13th. So
look who's in the chat, Mr. Jared Diaz himself. What's up,
tag team partner, my brother in crime. What's up, brother?
What's going on, brother? Jared's facing Rob Killjoy.
Yes.
But you guys are facing the Killionaires Club.
Yeah, me and Johnny Santos. That's a pretty good story. If I know a lot of people that follow me have seen the little video I put together. That was actually done by me of the story of You're Awesome and when we started, where we started at, and how things fell apart. And it just so happens that our roads have crossed again to tag team one last time, one night only. The Bronx is going to get their chosen ones one last time in You're Awesome against the Killionaires Club, which, if you've been following We Are Wrestling, you know Bougie has been a thorn in my back. Honestly, it seems as if he's obsessed with me. I don't know how. I don't know why. His trajectory is really good. Mine is there, but it seems like he's obsessed to keep on ruining whatever I do have. And at the end of the day, come Friday, which is, again, like I said, my favorite day of the year, I'm gonna have to bring out the little Jason Voorhees inside of me and do my own little version of a film. So.
All right. So what's your strategy going into this match against Killionaires Club?
Basically, if they don't watch the tape of what me and Johnny Santos used to do, they're not going to be prepared for what we have in store. You know what? PB, he's a cool dude. He's a cool dude. He's a tall dude. Very tall.
He's very tall. I've seen him in person.
Yeah, trust me. The height doesn't scare me.
Right.
From the South Bronx, nothing really scares me.
That's fair.
So, basically, he's 6 foot something. He's really tall.
Yeah.
I was always told by, people who've inspired me in my life, growing up, not only wrestlers, but family members, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. That's a classic line, but, you always got to chop a redwood down by the legs. So I know exactly what I'm going to do with that. As for Bougie, he's always coming in with some different tactics, and I'm going to have a few of my own up my sleeve. So it's going to be a surprise. And then once people start seeing the greatest hits come out of nowhere from me and Johnny Santos, I don't know. There's going to be a barrage of things, and they're going to have to withstand all of that.
All right. There's a lot of great talent on this card. The Rep,
yes.
Dan Maff, Prince Ahmed, Azriel, Darius Carter, Sammy Chaos, Prolific.
Yes.
Miss Nahia Robles coming from Puerto Rico.
Yes, my homie from the islands.
That's right, and Mr. Tommy Invincible over there, Jorge Santi. Wow, this is going to be quite the card. Everybody needs to go down this Friday. So We Are Wrestling.
I'm more excited for that Jorge Santi versus Pedro Dones. I'm super excited for that match. They're both good friends of mine. I've had the chance to train with Santi at one point. I've trained with Dones at one point. We wrestled just recently in June for Mike Santana's Puerto Rican weekend. We were in the scramble match with Jarrett.
Oh, wow.
And, he's a good friend of mine. From when I started in my career to now, I've known him since going straight through. And both those guys, they're very similar with their style.
Right.
And it's just such a clash of style that it's something that I hope they're on after me, or I'm on before them. So I can be like this with popcorn, just watching that match, because that match is going to be serious. The 6-train scramble is going to be dope. I'm going to enjoy that because, of course, my homie's in it, Naya Robles. Of course, Ahmed and Azrael is going to be amazing, as always. They did it last time to time limit. They passed the time. So they had a draw. Hopefully, they don't get a draw this time. I'm praying they don't. I want to see somebody really get pinned and just call it even. And of course, Lucas Chase is one of my favorite opponents I've had. I got the chance to wrestle him, and he's somebody that I actually admire as a friend too, the way he works. So him and Darius, that's gonna be something serious.
That's
too.
crazy.
It's another match I'm anticipating. And of course, my brother, Jarrett, he has to take out the Duckman. I don't have no animosity against Rob Killjoy. We had our one-on-one. Unfortunately, due to medical concerns, I had to stop the match for my well-being. Mm-hmm. But Rob's a hell of a competitor. But Jarrett is 10 times on a different level to me than Rob. And that was a one-on-one at the last show until, of course, Moff interjected himself, got himself the title shot, got himself the title. And we should have been celebrating me and Jarrett that night, honestly. But things happen. I don't have no doubt that Jarrett is going to bring it on Friday and, become that number one contender again. I know he will. I know he will. And you know what? Maybe I'll be in his corner. Maybe I won't because I'm gonna be taking care of the Killionaires.
Right.
But he already knows the support is strong. So that's my tag partner too. We the Uptown Boys. So we gotta be in each other's corner sometimes.
I love Jared Diaz. He really is really good.
Yeah.
Really good. He's the one, man. He's gonna make it. I know he is.
Oh, he definitely is. That man definitely is.
Zelina says representing the Bronx and Puerto Rico.
That's my aunt / older sister. Love her to death. She's another inspiration why I'm here. Other reason why I got a breast cancer ribbon tattooed on me just for her. She's a survivor. So she's my motivation in the ring all the time. My mom, may she rest in peace. Have a lot of family members that motivate me to do this. And of course, I'm a huge Guerrero fan, so he's one of my other motivations. So
I love Eddie Guerrero. He's really one of a
he's
kind.
my number one favorite of all time.
Yeah.
It's him, Chris Jericho now. It switches every few months, but it's him, Chris Jericho all the time, and then Shawn Michaels. So
I mean, he was in that circle of friends. Him, Jericho. I know they don't want to say his name, but Benoit. They're all tight. They're all tight.
Also, Homicide is up there, so it's like Eddie Guerrero. It's Eddie, Jericho, Shawn, Homicide.
So. Okay. Let's talk about your info right here. Promotions you've worked. Let everybody know about all the promotions you've been at.
All right, so I'm going to start from the very, very beginning, and that is the BWF, the Bronx Wrestling Federation. If you're from the Bronx, you know about this promotion. It was going on for a good amount of years. Unfortunately, the pandemic took it along with it. Right. So that was my place of training. Every single Wednesday, I would literally have that be my day off from work, and I'll be in the gym from 2 p.m. till about 9 p.m. just training straight through with a slew of guys. First person to put me in the ring was Steve Pena. That's one of my closest friends in the business, and the first person to ever show me how to take a bump in the ring and roll around. And I kind of learned his style, which very much benefits me and my body type. To training with, being able to train with Santana and Ortiz. I trained a few, once or twice with a few of the guys from Private Party. I've been in the ring with Mantequilla training there. The list goes on. I've actually gotten in the ring, and it's funny because people have been posting up a lot about it recently. It's Nana one day showed up.
It's Nana
around the time, and I didn't recognize him because I was far away working out. Because it was a gym that had weights. So I'm working out, and I'm looking. I'm like, oh wait, is that Nana? So I'll go over, and it's him. He's like, "You're done with your workout?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Get in the ring." I'm like, "You sure?" Because he was like, "Get in the ring." I'm like, "Okay." And we basically wrestled a little bit, and
really,
he taught me a few things. And at the same time, he gave me my praises. He told me, you have that switch. You just gotta learn how to throw it out. And I'm like, all right. And then in time, from BWF, it jumped over to my next promotion. I worked at a lucha promotion in the Gauchos gym at one point in the South Bronx. I did 2-3 shows with them, with Johnny. We were tagging there. Then I had my chances at in going to Connecticut, where I have family at also. I had the shot at Blood, Sweat, and Tears. They're such a great promotion. Have a good locker room. The team there is phenomenal, and I'm not just blowing smoke. This is they're like the truest. They're a true locker room back there. Their management is real. I basically give up their work just to go up there, just to be in the locker room, to be on the show, or even be in the presence of a show that they have going on. That's how good they are. Then I did VXS late 2019. They did a memorial battle royal for the late great Matt Travis, who was also a friend of mine. And I was able to be in that battle royal, which was an honor that I was able to do it in his name. And then I also did a few security run-ins with VXS. As of late, recently, in fact, when Moose decided to interrupt the show, I was one of the guys say, "Yo, get Moose out the ring." I'm like, "All right, cool. It's Moose." I slide in. I met Moose's boot right to my face, and I was out. So unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to get Moose out, but Moose got me.
Moose got you.
Yeah, he got me. Then the infamous PAPW, I got a chance to work with them for a few shows, which was fun. A place I always wanted to work. There was 2 places on that list that I've always wanted to work, and I was given the opportunity one day. Got a call from Alex at Invictus, and he was like, "Hey, Matt, I saw you were in Connecticut the night before wrestling. Are you still here?" And I'm like, "No, I'm actually home. I'm gonna go do something right now." Why? What's up? And he's like, "Well, can you get back out here?" And he debuted me. Like I was in his
wow.
emails at one point early for Invictus.
Right.
And then I saw him do a podcast interview, and I understood what his method was, like how he booked shows. So I'm like, my time will come. Thank you. I'm like, my time will come eventually. And sure enough, we had a good conversation one day, and that conversation led to him remembering what we spoke about and giving me a call when there was an opening. And I couldn't have been more happier to have debuted in Connecticut at that on a card that it was a joint show with Test of Strength. And I got a chance to be in the ring with, competitors that now I've faced a few times. Like Bougie was one of the people in that match. Killian was in that match. Big Game Leroy, Clipper Jones, Adam Brookside was in there. So it was a really, really good match. And I thank Alex for every single time. And now I'm one of his guys when he brings Invictus to the Bronx. And actually, I just got word that in October for their Demon Time show,
right,
I will be in attendance and I will be wrestling that night. I'll be in action. But details coming soon for that one.
Right. And it's in New Jersey.
Yeah, that's gonna be in Jersey. And then you have Battle Club. Battle Club was one of those promotions that I've admired from a distance, and always would go help out and help them do like their ring crew.
Mm-hmm.
And one time, one of the main guys that's there on the ring side, we all know him as Okay. He was there, and he was like, "Yo, come work, speak with Joe Kim." So I spoke with Joe Kim, did a few ring crews, became good friends with Joe Kim. Like he's a real guy. He's a really cool dude, real dude. And he gave me a ride one time to Pittsburgh to go and wrestle. 6-hour drive. We drove out there. I wrestled on the show. We drove back. We became closer, and he gave me an opportunity to start off at the Fallout Shelter first on their student shows. He wanted me to work with his students, and did 2 shows for them. And he was like, "You know what? For your birthday in January, guess what? You're booked. You're coming to Battle Club." So I debuted at Battle Club in January of 2023. And alongside Jared Diaz, he was my tag partner for Chanclas are not like based Chancla rule match. So we could use Chanclas all we wanted.
Right.
And it was a tag team match against the Costa Ricans, which love those guys too. Those guys are great. And it was a fun match. Like we had a good time. And then from that point on, I had my shot in Battle Club. And then you have We Are Wrestling, which I always told Pete from the beginning, because I've known Pete again since the beginning of my career. Man, you got to get me booked on a show. Like, I would love to wrestle on the show. So that was around the time he was working with Bree Combination Wrestling, and he got me on a pre-show match. And he was like, "I knew you weren't going to disappoint. Thank you, for coming through and doing what you got to do." I'm like, "Oh, no problem." But I knew he was starting up We Are Wrestling. I was bugging him. Come on, Pete, pull the trigger. Let me go. Come on, pull that trigger. He was like, "No, not yet. It's not your time. It's not your time. Let it simmer. Let it wait." I'm like, this man's never going to book me. And sure enough, the debut show in the Bronx, in St. Helena's, he goes, "How do you feel about being in a Rumble of the Bronx?" I'm like, of course. That's a no-brainer. And sure enough, I was in the Rumble. I was one of the last 2 in the Rumble.
Wow.
And I ended up eliminating the legendary Bronco International.
Wow.
He was also one of my teachers and one of my mentors. So I was able to throw him out and win the Rumble. And it was a meaningful win, because it basically fell on the anniversary weekend of my mom's passing. So it was very near and dear to me to be in that ring that weekend because I like to stay occupied for that weekend. Like I don't like to be in my emotions much because that does really trigger me that time. So for people to be like, hey, you booked, I'm like, oh, sweet. So I got a shirt specially made with the last mother-son date we had. It was a picture of us. I put it in the back of my shirt, painted my face because it was the theme of the show was the Warriors. So I painted my face like the Baseball Fury, which one of my favorite gangs in the movie. And, went on, had such a great showing. The crowd was hot from beginning to end. When my music hit and I'm coming out, the whole crowd erupted. When I won, they threw streamers at me. I felt like I was in a hammer getting streamers. And that was always something that when I became a wrestler, I wanted streamers. I wanted the streamer win. And it just happens that the Rumble called for that one moment. And I got the moment with my family in attendance.
That's awesome.
My father was there. My god sister was there. My girlfriend, my stepdaughter, everybody was there. So it was like even good friends of mine, they just showed up. And it was an emotional moment because of what the weekend what was coming up within that weekend. And, just having everybody there. And like, I know I have people to support me in a business that's very you need that support in this business. So, We Are Wrestling is my home. Since BWF got taken away, We Are Wrestling has become my home. BST has become my home. And, any place I go, every locker room I've been in, like even last night, I was in up in Connecticut wrestling for Outcast Wrestling Revolution, and they're a fairly new company. And it's funny, me and PJ were talking last night, and we were like, "Oh, this locker room is different. There's something here." And when he's telling me that, and I'm like, "I agree with you. There is something there," because again, some locker rooms can be a little, off-putting, and some locker rooms can be really, really good. And I basically, all the places I've been to, I have no complaints about the locker room ever. Like they're so humble, everybody there, staff. And that's how people get really good wrestling. The locker room is great. The card is amazing. You'll get better wrestling than you see on TV sometimes.
Yeah, true. That's 100% true. We got a question for you from Serena. What does being Hispanic and representing the culture in this industry mean to you?
It means a lot. What I can say is being one of my friends, he has a saying, he doesn't call himself New Yorican. He's Puerto Rican. So I like that. But I am a New Yorican. I'm from the Bronx, raised Puerto Rican, and to have representation in the ring is key because growing up, who we had was Savio Vega. Savio Vega was the man around that time. There were other wrestlers, of course, but not mainstream like Savio was and Los Boricuas. Like that was it. And, Carlos Colon was another one. And then years later, we got Carlito Colon. But Carlito really wasn't showing he was Puerto Rican, which was like killing me inside. And then, I see.
My laptop's about to power off. I got to look it up.
Save it yourself. Yeah, save it.
Go ahead. I'm working on it.
Then you look at like TNA and you look at, Ring of Honor, and you're like, wait, who are these guys? And then my cousin got me to see Homicide for the first time. And I'm like, wait a second, he's Puerto Rican? Where is he from? Brooklyn? He's from New York? Top favorite wrestler, that's it. Then see Loki. And I'm like, Loki's the man. See Amazing Red. I'm like, that dude's the man. And then the Hit Squad. I'm like, those guys are the men. And I'm like, that's the representation that we need on TV. We need these guys in the WWE, and we didn't get them. And it was sad, but at the same time, it was amazing because we had a chance to see them when they came into town for Ring of Honor, or if Homicide was going to be on Impact. We were watching TNA and Impact to see him do his thing. And then, a lot of us Puerto Ricans, we love wrestling. That's like second nature to us. And the fact now, we fast forward to now, we had a world champion in the WWE.
That's right.
Damian Priest.
Damian Priest.
He's a Bronx boy.
Yeah.
And a Bronx boy that was a world champion who just so happens to be Puerto Rican.
Yep.
And he represents for the culture so much. And then you take that step back and you look at the Indies, and then you see Santana and Ortiz. Santana is super proud to be Puerto Rican. Like that, I feel is the proudest man I've ever seen, and that waves the flag and waves it right. Like I was honored to be a part of his inaugural show for Puerto Rican Weekend. Because again, it fell on the eve of the Puerto Rican Day Parade.
Right.
So it was funny when he announced it. I'm like, hey, Mike, I didn't want to bother him right away. I waited a few days. I'm like, hey, Mike, what's going on with this Puerto Rican Weekend? Are you booking it? Red, Brian booking it? Who's booking it? Herb. I'm like, who's booking it? And he's like, I'm booking it. I'll get back to you when I get back from my trip. I'm like, all right, cool. Waiting. I'm biting my nails, waiting. Jared gets the call. I'm like, Jared got the call. I might be next. Waiting. So a week leading into the show, I'm like, so Mike, what's up at Puerto Rican Weekend? He was like, you're booked. Send your stuff. Mind you, I'm in a training at work. And I'm like, I started hesitating with my phone. And I told my manager, give me 1 second. I emailed everything over to him in like 5 seconds.
Right.
Like, wow, that was the fastest. He was like, well, you're booked. See you Saturday. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to wrestle on this show. So I started texting my family and my friends. I'm like, oh my God, I'm wrestling on the show. And then show comes, and, it was literally amazing. Like I felt like I was in Fifth Avenue for the Puerto Rican Day Parade, which is the next day already, because it was loud. There were flags everywhere. The music was bumping.
Right.
And it felt real. Like I'm like, this is what we need. This is what the culture needs. And we put on a hell of a scramble match. And to basically being able to sit in the back and talk with people like Homicide, talk with people with like Red, and talk about the culture, but not only the culture, it's about representing it in the ring. It's by far like the greatest thing. And I'm super proud to be able to hold that banner in the ring.
Right. So sorry, I'm chuckling. Somebody left a comment on Instagram saying they thought you were choking me when I was like this.
But yeah, like it means a lot to represent the culture. And again, it's real. Like my family is from all parts of the island. And the fact that I unfortunately haven't gotten a chance to fully visit the island yet, which is sad to say, but that's actually on my list to go. I want to visit it first before I wrestle there. Even though Nair's in my ear, like, I can get you booked. Come, when you come, I'll get you booked. I'm like, I'll train. I'll go train at school the day when I go out there.
Right.
I already got the approval to do that because the whole thing is they're going to be a family trip and family time. Right. So I already said, can I get 1 day of training at least in?
Right.
And I was given the permission slip to be able to do that. But and then the next time, of course, I'll go and I'll wrestle there, which will be another honor for me.
That's
to
awesome.
Be able to wrestle in front of my people.
That Nahir. Let's give her flowers, man. Nahir is awesome.
Oh, she definitely is. She definitely is. Like, she's come a long way. I love picking, like, I'll watch her matches and I love picking at them for her and giving her feedback and giving her like ideas. I'm like, hey, so for the hip attack, here's an idea. And I'll feed her ideas on how to get into it, because again, I've trained with people that they'll do their moves, but it wasn't always the same setup. Like, everybody does a move, and they'll do the same setup. And it's like, oh, here's this coming.
Right.
Versus you have a Homicide that's going to hit the Ace Crusher and it's out of nowhere. Right. Kind of like RKO out of nowhere. It's just like that. So it's like, I told him, like, you got to set it up like this time. And then next time you do it like this. And next time you do it like that. And she's like, okay, Matthew. Like, I'm like, listen, you gotta be versatile in the ring. And I had a chance to one time when she came to New York, we trained together. We went to a gym and her cardio was good. I can say that much. And the hip attack is legit. It does hurt people. So I feel bad for the guys in the scramble on Friday.
But
She's such a great girl. You know, she's a hard worker, and I take my hat off to her. She's traveling like every weekend.
100%. Like every weekend, she is.
I think 60 matches. I'm thinking, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Year so far, which is amazing. But I'm proud of her. Like she's kicking, and it's enjoyable to watch. It's very enjoyable to watch her grow.
She is kicking. All right, let's go to some of your hobbies. What hobbies do you have? Man, we talked a lot actually.
No, right? Hobbies. I love watching movies. It's funny. Ever since I got my girlfriend, I got into Game of Thrones, and I didn't get a chance to fully watch it straight through until late last year, where I binged it. I binged all the seasons straight through.
Right.
I finished it I think 2 days after New Year. The whole 8 seasons. I watched it straight through, and getting myself ready for House of Dragons, and then right now in this household we're trying to learn High Valyrian. So
right.
But the way we're training the dog with it too. So we'll tell the dog like the Hairas, and she'll like lay down and she'll like look, she's bowing at us, and like we're picking out little words here and there that we're learning. But she's learning it more than me.
Did you finish the season of House of Dragon? The second season?
Yes, I did. I was disappointed with the last episode, but
they left it open.
Yes, they left it open, but there's going to be a lot of other series coming in the middle that spin-offs. So I can't wait to see these spin-offs. But besides that, I like my horror films. Again, like I said, Friday the 13th is my favorite day because of course, I got to have Jason Voorhees on the guns over here.
Voorhees.
So he's one of my favorite movie monsters. And I know my older sister would say this, but my least favorite, but he is my favorite now, growing up and grown out of it, Chucky, because she traumatized me with him as a kid. But love the guy. He's hilarious. I watch the TV show now. I like to game sports. Of course, I'm a wrestler, so I love my sports. So I'm very happy NFL started up again today. So it was a tough day for the Giants, but it is what it is. We still got another few more weeks left, so let's see what happens.
It is what it is.
But I love, just love having family time. Hanging out with Jared. We'll hang out once in a blue. We'll go watch some games, some football games. We went recently to we went to a Mets game. We had a good time there. I'm just I'm your average cool dude, like straight up. I'm myself turned up a notch. So I love to have time, like spend time with my family. I'm a family guy, and gaming, movies. That's my thing, and I love my music. So
awesome. What's your favorite artist you're listening to?
I listen to everything. I just went last week to Incubus at Madison Square Garden. It was sold out. Coheed and Cambria opened up for them. Yes, I'm a rock head, guys. I love my rock, love my hip hop, I love everything. I just heard that new Linkin Park that's playing. I'm enjoying it. I like the change. People got to evolve. So I'm enjoying it. It's just weird not hearing Chester.
Right.
But of course, I like Travis Scott when I'm in the gym. Big Pun. I'm a huge Big Pun fan. Of course, that's my theme song when I come out. Who else I like? Kendrick Lamar. Who doesn't like Kendrick? I'm an Eminem fan. Been an Eminem fan since Infinite days. Like people who say, "Oh, I like Wilson." No, Infinite. I'm an Infinite guy. So, and that's another one that my cousin got me into. Got me into Ring of Honor and everything. But music. I'm very open to listen to everything. I don't discriminate against any music, honestly.
Yeah, we got a question for you. If you could pick one woman to team up with and also one to have a match against, who would you choose?
Oh, so few. Jesus, I can only pick one, but it's like
screw it. Choose a couple.
So team ups.
Gotta be not here.
I teamed up with her once already, but I would team up with her in a mixed tag. I would do it again. But she better let me do the hip attack to somebody, not her. Who else? Sammy Chaos, I would like to team with one day.
Yeah.
We already wrestled her.
She's tough.
So, she eliminated me from a battle royal with a claw. So
wow.
But I would love to team up with her. Cosmic is another one. She's good. She's really good. And if Ruthless Lala's another one, I wouldn't want to get away from her, but I would love to team with her.
Respectively.
Respectfully, because I know what that lariat can do.
Oh, I've
I
seen it.
At the other end of that lariat.
I've seen it.
The funny thing is, I look up to her when it comes to me throwing my lariats, and I always have to ask her before I throw one if we're on the same. I'm like, I never throw it if we're on the same card. Never throw it, or else I'll get hit with it once I go through the curtain. And if you want to go to like a little bit higher than what we do, Diamante and Mercedes. Those are two women I would love to team with. Diamante, I would love to probably mix it up in the ring with. Fun fact, Diamante is the reason why I used the chancla. She blessed me with the gimmick when she was going to AEW. And she's like, I'm not going to use it up there. So, primo, here you go. And she blessed me with using it. And then she just recently used it at Death Before Dishonor. So, I may have to give her a call.
Right.
Friday.
Baby, there you go.
But no, she's great. She did all the women I said, I basically have so much respect for and what they do, especially Sammy. Sammy is killing it. She is killing it. Collecting gold everywhere, and I love to see it. You know, Cosmic is another one that she's grown so much. Oh, another person I would love to team with and wrestle, JC Storm. I've wrestled her already.
Right.
She was in the opposite side of Con Pegao. So it's like I didn't get a chance to mix it up with her, but may happen down the road. Who knows? But I would love to team with her too. She's cool people. So yeah, those are the women I would like to work with and wrestle. Nair, I don't know about wrestling. She, again, training. I already got hit with the hip attack. I know what the hip attack could do too.
Right.
But wrestle her, she has a lot in store. If I wrestle her, that's what she has to know.
We have a question for you on Instagram. How does music influence your wrestling, if at all?
It definitely does. Before the day of a show, again, if it's a weekend show, my girlfriend's annoyed, my stepdaughter's annoyed, but I'm jamming the music the whole way through from when I wake up till I'm about to go out that curtain. I'm jamming the music. And it's depending on how I feel and who I'm facing will depend on what playlist I'm going to listen to. So say, for instance, like coming for this Friday, I'm going to be jamming to a lot of possibly rock, maybe. So I'll probably be listening to some Korn, some Slipknot, maybe throwing a little bit of Limp Bizkit, stuff like that, just to get me in that vibe, get me in that zone. And then, of course, some Big Pun to just top it off and some Travis Scott to really get me hyped. Like I usually throw on a Scott track right before I'm going to hit the curtain so I could get the hype and I could be just hype. I'm going to go through this curtain and rip somebody, and like that's like the music. I'll throw on Fiend and I'll just start going crazy. So it's like, music does influence what I do in my style a lot. That I can say. Okay.
All right, last question. So what do you see yourself in 6 months going on with Matt Awesome? Yeah. By the end of the year.
By the end of the year. I definitely had a very interesting year this year when it came to matches. Like it wasn't quantity, it was the quality for me this year. I say this all the time.
That's important.
Every single match I've had meant something.
Right.
Whether it was facing Bougie in February for the Invicta social media title and getting gypped out of it, because I did get gypped. Excuse me. Or that March, me teaming with one of my mentors, one of the people I looked up to in Homicide. That was nerve-wracking. But I got through it. And again, working with that man, he's the most humblest person I could ever meet to give me insight and give me feedback. So that, like, just being able to team with a legend and somebody who I look up to, facing an opponent that is basically on another level, and I was able to match with him, to being able to debut at a place where I wanted to, which was House of Glory, under Mike Santana's show, represent for my culture. Everything meant something different this year. So by the end of this year, I want more meaningful stuff to put into the chapter of 2024 that, I wrestled, teamed with people I looked up to, beat people who were my adversaries. And, if there's a championship that's out there, you want to bless your boy with a championship shot and, let me bring home some hardware. Yeah, I will put it in this household because I got my dog and my cats may want to keep it as toys. Hit your boy up. I'm willing to go out there. And if you need a dynamic, crazy, dope tag team, you got the Uptown Boys and me and Jared Diaz. Like you got the closer and the Prince of Chancla style together. Like better than that.
I love it.
Like hide your daughters, hide your wives, and your abuelas will love me too. Like you gotta hide them when it's me and Jared in town. But again, it's like 6 months, basically going into next year. I'd say I wanna be on a road to a championship, or let alone be a face of a company, or be in a tag team champions with my tag partner. Because again, I haven't held GOAT since I held the DDT heavy metalweight title, which is the Japanese title.
Wow.
I won it. I held it for 5 minutes, and then I got pinned in the bathroom by Jimmy Lloyd.
What the hell?
Yeah, the video's somewhere. But yeah, I lost it to Jimmy Lloyd in the bathroom. Interesting. And that was the first ever title I ever held. And last title I ever held. Just saying that.
Very interesting. Well, you could book Matt at wait, where is it? I can't see. It's there somewhere. Book M Awesome at gmail.com. Make sure you book him. Get him on your shows. Let's represent Hispanic culture.
Yes.
Every promotion should represent. You're representing Hispanic culture.
Yes. And I'm willing to travel, people. Willing to travel.
I mean, I represent at any show I go, so I represent.
Are you going to be in the house on Friday though?
I'm gonna try. I'm working till 5, so by the time I get out there, with the traffic, maybe I'll make it. Maybe.
Listen, it's gonna be you see the show. It's gonna be a jam-packed show.
I know.
Everybody needs to get their tickets now. Go get your tickets.
That's right.
It's gonna be jam-packed.
Get your tickets.
All of us there. Look at that card.
We are wrestling.
What's wrong with this card, especially on a Friday night? Letting it be Friday the 13th at that. This is gonna be an amazing card.
It's gonna
and
be
maybe
crazy.
After we win, I'm gonna go probably to a drive-in theater and watch Friday the 13th.
There you go.
It's one of my favorite movies. I'm gonna end up watching it.
It's his favorite movie.
Jason did when he took over Manhattan to either Bougie or PB. Who knows? He knocked somebody's top off. Who knows?
Who knows what's gonna happen? But you better find out this Friday night. Wrestling. We are wrestling. The bridge is over. Check it out. Make sure you go We Are Wrestling. Get your tickets, or even show up at the door if you don't want to trust the good old internet. Show up at the door.
Tickets.
Pay cash money. I want to thank Matt Awesome for joining me on the podcast, and he is welcome back anytime he wants.
Yes, thank you for having me.
I think we just touched the surface of what we could have talked about. I really like most of the questions were from the audience.
Listen,
which is good.
Listen, and nobody asked what my favorite horror movie was.
I know. We'll save for part 2.
We already know who the guy is. Look at that guy.
Matt Awesome part 2 on Beyond the Barricade with Papa Nick.
Yes, let's do it.
Make sure everybody follows Matt Awesome. As for me, I got 3 vlogs this week, Matt. Ooh. Speaking about booking, if you want to book Papa Dank to film his vlog at your promotion, what are you waiting for? Hit me up.
Book this,
I'll be there. First up is my last VPW vlog this Monday. My last VPW vlog. There I am with Diego Trabajador, Sweeper Guy, my pals. Check that out. It's going to be emotional. That's a good
tag team. I would like to face those guys.
Yeah, We Are Wrestling. There you go.
I want Live Danger too.
Live Danger is on another level, though. Those guys are crazy.
Me and Jared on a whole different level.
There you go. Those guys right now, they're actually going to be away because they're in New Japan.
I know. Axe Young, Dumb and Broke. Axe Main Event. We face those guys. They know what we bring to the table.
I think you guys should face Steven Stevens.
Bring it. VPW. Hello, VPW.
Hello.
That's a match right there. Book us.
Pro. All right, let's go. Wednesday, I got Seaside Dank 2 title deck at Titan Championship Wrestling. Vlogs continue. Then on Friday, Dank Up, as I'm seeing here with Coraline. I love when she looks at me that way.
You know what? Her and Nair got a little thing. They had a little thing before.
They did.
Me and Nair versus whoever she wants to bring.
IWA, yeah. Let's do it. I like it. Let's book it. I like it. After that, I will be at Titan Championship Wrestling Presents Guerrilla Warfare. You want to talk about Cosmic? Cosmic takes on the one and only unhinged Amity LeVay. I don't know if you've seen Amity wrestle, but she's a little nuts.
She's impressive, but I don't know. My money's on Cosmic.
She's a little nuts.
My money's on the only Cosmic.
We'll see. Cosmic is good. I seen her in a battle royal for the first time not too long ago.
My money's on her. My money's on Jocko. My money's on PJ.
Jocko, that's my boy, the greatest showman, Jocko. We got Face in the house, Michael Fain, Anthony Gangone, Dr. Sleep, Tony Cini, PJ Savage, Andre Paulino, Daniel Alexander, Jeff Noyes. So many stars this Saturday.
I see my boy over there in the corner right there, Mr. James.
Mr. James.
He told me I'm a good noodle, so.
He did. He gave me a gold star as well.
I got one and then got given a Spanish flag. So.
Oh, no. Made famous by the world famous SATs, just saying.
Yes, those are my guys, too.
Shout out to Joel Maximo, my pal. Speaking of Joel Maximo and Wrestling Is Now, they are now going on Roku. They got a show coming up on the 21st. I'm trying to make it there, but my shoot job might not let me make it there, but we'll see. But if not, go support Wrestling Is Now on Roku.
Yeah, I know my trainer is going to be in that match against PJ too.
Now we got
My
PJ
boys are
Savage.
fighting. I'm like, oh.
This Thursday, he's coming on the podcast. Mr. PJ Savage. Got a lot of people this week.
It's the real dude right there.
Johan Nara, the Dynasty Heavyweight Champion, coming on. Tony Cini coming on. There's other people coming on. Just follow our socials and just
sweet.
Appreciate
Stack
Matt.
Hard. Stack hard right there.
Stack. I'm busy. I don't have time.
The better.
Listen, I don't have time to date. I'm a single guy and I can't date anybody because I'm always busy.
Listen, you hear that, people? He's a single man. If you have aunts or anything, they're looking for a hardworking wrestling fan who's willing to pay for their ticket.
Podcaster.
Maybe
National.
Just the guy right here.
National. I have a nice car too.
He has a nice car. Look at that. And look at them pops. Look at them pops.
Look at the pops. Look at this. Hollywood Hulk Hogan right there, bud.
I have so many Eddie Guerreros. It's not even funny.
I did. I have. Did you see the one? Do you have the one in the car?
I have the Lowrider. I have the new LWO one. And I have
favorite.
the WrestleMania one.
Where's the LW? The LWO one is here somewhere.
Yeah, it was a Father's Day gift. So
I don't know where he is. He's somewhere. But look at this one. Dominic.
That's a dope one.
I want to get it signed. I'm waiting for it to pop up somewhere so I can get it signed.
Listen, he made a believer out of me. I like me some Dominic. I like me some Dominic. He's good, especially when I just found out when I was looking at his gear. I was like, "Dang, this gear looks familiar to me." And I was piecing it together. I didn't realize his gear is a tribute to the Luchadors.
Wow, I didn't know
that. His top that he wears, it's for La Parca. He has the Mysterio mask in his pants. When he wears the shirt in the front.
Right.
You got to go down that list. Like all of these luchadors, he actually honors when he wears his gear to the ring. Like I respect the hell out of that.
I respect Dominic. Make sure that everybody gets shit. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. Make sure everybody gets their Dominic Mysterio pop. Help support Dominic. He's killing it. Killing it.
And also get a Damian Priest one if it's available yet.
It's not yet. I'm waiting.
Funko.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
First.
Guess what's coming out though? I got the scoop on it.
Mm-hmm.
From the source. Jimmy Hart.
Interesting.
Jimmy Hart should be out by April.
My cousin's gonna want that one.
Yeah,
because my cousin's collection is crazy. He actually gave me an extra Deadpool that he had. So.
Oh, did he? Yeah, I gave
a limited edition of Deadpool. He had two of them. He gave me one.
I mailed a Rhea Ripley out to someone who came on the podcast who wanted one. So I'm like, I got one for you.
That's a cool one.
My
cousin was like, "Oh, there's a Zelina Vega one." I'm like, "I know."
Yeah. Oh.
Flag too.
Where is it?
I'm like, I gotta get that one too.
Oh, look at this one. Seth freaking Rollins. I do have that one. Where is it? It's somewhere here.
That's another person I like a lot. Seth.
Look how awesome this one is.
That's an amazing one.
Amazing.
That's an amazing one.
Amazing.
They have a special edition black and white one now too. I saw.
Where?
It's coming out.
No fucking way. Where? Oh, we gotta talk. All right.
I gotta find it. I gotta find it so I can buy it too.
Hold on for a second. Everybody have a good night. Matt, stay put, Matt. Don't go anywhere.
Not going anywhere.
Oh, look at Jeannie. Wow, advertise you on the market. LOL. Listen, times are tough, Jeannie. What can I say? Have a good night, everybody.